Hi, Holly. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So, Mary, can you tell me a bit about your? I've been stalking your website all day, but for those who haven't, a very quick, like, what do you do? How did you get where you are? Your life
Yeah, okay,
story in
that's
2 minutes.
great. That's great. I'm happy you've been on my website, and thank you for the feedback. Yeah, I've actually been on my own personal spiritual journey for a while. Grew up with a lot of beliefs about I'm not good enough. Had a really bad stutter, left me with low self-confidence, and then I kind of got used to trying to hide this away from people. So I kind of started to work on myself to go, okay, why is this lack of confidence coming from? So I
Mm.
started to dig deep to look at what my beliefs were. And then, I'm happy to say I've come out the other side. And now I love to inspire others to change is possible and people, you can do it. So,
How cool! And you've lived all
yeah.
over the place. I see you were a nurse in which country? I mean, you've
Yeah,
been everywhere.
well, yeah, I started off actually working as a nurse with children with cancer, and then it was just my own unhappiness in life that kind of drew me more towards Reiki healing, coaching, counseling, spiritual counseling, and yeah, so since then, went through a bit of a change 5 years ago in my life. I separated from my husband, and from that point, I've always loved traveling, so I've kind of went, okay, if I want to work and travel, I need to kind of do online work. And
Yeah.
yeah, I've been to around 30 countries, lived in five, Spain being one of them. so, so I kind of created this digital nomad lifestyle. And actually, that's part of what I do because a lot of people go, just like your reaction, wish I could do what you're doing. And not everybody can, granted, but it's kind of, if it's something that is possible for you, what's holding you back? And,
Yeah.
there's a big world out there. Now we realize technology, online work is the way forward, especially in the current situation. So it
Yeah.
gives you so much freedom, even if you want to live in one country, it just gives you freedom and flexibility. So best thing that happened to me, and I'm grateful for my life change that, I just packed my bag and I went, okay, I'm off.
Goodbye.
Yeah, so now I'm currently in Sri Lanka. Well, I'm physically in UK at the moment, but I'll get back to Sri Lanka when I can. I was in Thailand before that,
Wow.
Spain before that. So where's next? I don't know. I embrace the unknown totally and just go with the flow of life. And really, the big thing for me is to embrace the unknown. I've already mentioned that, but also painful endings and new beginnings.
Yeah.
We don't like change as humans. We stay in our comfort zone because we want to keep things the same, control things. But when we let go a little bit and trust, it's life can take you off to amazing places and doors just open everywhere. So the work I do, I've embraced it in my own life, and that's where I find the power of it in working with people. And
Yeah.
it's not like reading a book and you go, okay, well, this works, so I'll tell people about it. I've lived this, and to walk the talk, I think, to inspire people is, a big part of it, as well as being professionally qualified, but also I have like lots of personal experiences and
Okay, this is the quote that I found from your website that I really liked, and I also have a question about. Was it was in your, because you actually have an embracing change program, right? So I was looking at that, obviously, because that's sort of the theme of this month's event at the Love Yourself Project. So the quote that I wrote was, "It's hard to handle change, to leave the comfort and security of your own current life and jump into the unknown. So don't be too hard on yourself. I felt the same way when major changes have happened in my life, sometimes by choice, but other times out of my control." And this caught my attention because I think, given this current climate that we're in, a lot of people are having this thing of like, maybe I've lived in a few countries and I'm very good at saying like, right, I'm moving to Spain and I go, but that's my decision.
Yeah.
Whereas dealing with change on such a scale when it's not a choice we've made is a very different thing. And I just wonder if you have some any little nuggets of gold tips that people might
Yeah.
say, like,
Mm. Yeah, and I called the program that because it's that's what I like. I love change, so this is why I'm passionate about it, because sometimes, as you said, change happens, but
mm,
at the time it's like we might want to make a change, but we don't know how. So that's in our control. But what's happening now? So the invitation is let go of what you can't control. Even before this pandemic happened, were we ever in control of life? We think we are, but actually things can change overnight. Not to be negative about it, but things can happen. A job might end, a relationship, we might get sick. So some things are not in our control, but to focus on what you can control. And this is what I share with people: just being in the moment. Meditation helps. And to really be, the part of being gentle with yourself is actually, yeah, of course we're going to feel anxious, angry, upset, and just to face whatever you're feeling. We don't like to feel upset, we don't like to feel angry, because we want to be strong for people, or we're afraid to show how we really feel. But if we face how we're feeling, the energy starts to dissolve around how we're feeling, instead of distracting or trying to change it into a happy feeling. It doesn't work, because we still keep those feelings, like energy wise, we'll keep that energy trapped. But if the invitation, just be where you are, if you're how you're feeling, and face it, sit with it. It's very uncomfortable though, so I know people don't like to do it because we're not used to it. It's horrible, but it's like once we get comfortable and start to do it, we realize, oh, okay, it doesn't go straight away, but it kind of dissolves on its own.
and so I have a question for, I've been talking to quite a few people who are having this issue, like the changes all around us, but maybe they're in a marriage or a partnership or a family where someone is reacting to it in one, maybe very positive way, and they're taking the time to look inward, and the other half of that partnership is really anxious, really stressed. How would you recommend that people stay with their feelings but also be mindful of the other person's feelings? Is there something there that
Yeah.
they can do that will stay where they are but also take care a little bit of the people they're maybe locked in with? Literally.
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly. And it's hard now because we don't have that space to have that break. So it's one,
Yeah.
okay, other people will be struggling, so have compassion for them, but have compassion for yourself first. If you're in a good place, that will be kind of a ripple effect for others around you. So everybody handles with things in different ways. um so yeah, so just to, I would say, just be open and talk about things as well. We're very good at kind of hiding away how we feel. So it's kind of opening up to it. But if you work on yourself, it can really change the energy of the other person. We're not trying to change so they're not feeling what they're feeling, but it's kind of, we have to lift our vibration up a little bit. So if we can be in a good place, of meditating and just being in the moment, then that can help the other person. I don't know if it makes sense, but it's kind of, we can affect the other person without doing anything by focusing on ourselves. Big part of it's acceptance as well, because we're in resistance to what's happening. We want it to be different, and it's not. So we're in this turmoil, and resistance is, going against what is. So, when people get into that space where they get to a place of surrender and acceptance, then they can see the way forward themselves. And then they can see, okay, what do I want to do about this? For me, it's even changed maybe my plan of living in Sri Lanka. It's kind of reconsidered things for me.
Yeah.
So And I think this will happen to people, because otherwise people are just going on in life, just doing the same, going to the same places on holiday, and it makes people go, okay, what's so important? Do I want to keep doing what I've always been doing for the last 10 years, or do I want to make a change? And sometimes there's just no easy answer, because some people's situations, maybe it will be the end of a business, or we try to see gifts in things happening and seeing things, but unfortunately for some people it might not be, they might not be able to see it as a positive thing. So for some people, yeah, it will be a completely devastating situation in their lives, business, economy, financially. So
I think,
yeah, so it is a difficult time.
yeah, and I love that you say it like that, because I feel like there's a lot of people who are, maybe a lot of people who are in those positions feel like everyone is sugarcoating it and like, oh, but it's so great, and they're like, no, but I was doing the thing I loved and now I
Yeah.
can't. Like, I was there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And that's interesting what you said about sugarcoating, because this is, I mean, I've been doing positive thinking for a while, and there's a lot of things on the internet, and everything is useful, but it's all about positive thinking, which is great. Think positive thoughts, positive things happen. Now, it's not always that easy.
yeah,
And what a lot of the positive thinking, things that I've read, they don't want to acknowledge how we really feel, that we're upset, we're angry. So it's kind of trying to gloss over. I call it the bliss bunny, where you just want to have your rose tinted glasses on, and you only want to be in this positive bubble. So
yeah,
therefore, you don't know how to handle when you're upset, when you're angry, when all the feelings that come up. So it's like we have to be real about what's actually happening, and trying to help people through it. And yeah, I just use some little tools as well, just to kind of break down energy again with how we're feeling, because we can't just make it go away, but it's
yeah,
good when people have different things that they can do just to help themselves as well. We don't need to be positive 100% of the time. It only needs to be 51% of the time to tip the balance to attract more positivity. So otherwise, we just try so hard to be positive, and then one day we have a bad day and we just feel really lost, because we're like, oh my God, all my work I've been doing is ruined because I've had a negative thought. So it's about embracing both sides, however we're feeling, whenever we're feeling it, accept it and embrace it. And it otherwise it builds up inside, and it gets like we just explode and we just have meltdowns. We don't know how to handle it. So,
yeah,
and this is life, isn't it? It's going to throw us curveballs and challenges, and this has been a big challenge. So to find inner peace, and I found it in my life. I used to distract with partying when I first lived in Abu Dhabi, because it was easier than facing how I really felt with confidence. So I would be out every night partying, but it was like a mask I was wearing. And then it was kind of, I learned to be comfortable with my feelings and not try to like run away from them. So
well, we'll leave it there for now, May, but thank you so much for chatting with me for a few minutes.
okay, no, you're welcome. I've really enjoyed it as well, and that you took
Yeah.
the time to go through my website and
Oh,
look at
I
what
just
I do.
I loved your website, and I loved the boldness of your photos, and you have such an open, people when they have their faces are just open, you can, I saw your
Yeah.
picture and I was like, oh, she's lovely.
Oh, thank you. And I think that's important when you work with people. You need to kind of, and I think as well you have to be comfortable with who you are
Yeah.
to do the work, and that you're open and open to share with people. So
Any final message, words, the motivation?
yeah, well, I'm trying to think, because I talk a lot anyway, and I've shared a lot of things. So, okay, one thing that's come to my mind is change shakes us up to where we're meant to be. So if we look at the bigger picture in life, so it's kind of, we'd like to stay, but it's kind of when change happens, we get a bit ruffled, but actually it's takes us off on greater paths, I believe. So It can be a small change, a big change, but change is good. So don't be afraid of change.
Well, I hope we can find a collective path.
Yeah, that would be
At the end
great.
of all of this, that will be maybe more kind to each other.
Yeah, no, that would be great. Yeah, exactly. And it's you know, we can have a powerful effect on what we're doing, just one person at a time, you know, ripple effects in sending love, healing, and yeah, we don't have to do big things, but just start off with few people at a time. It can spread immensely. So
Good.
yeah.
Well, I'm sending love to you in the UK.
Okay, thank you. And then it's coming right back to you in Spain as
I
well.
feel it. I feel it.
Can you feel the positive vibes coming?
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for chatting with me,
Okay, you're welcome.
and I hope everyone who is watching this can go to the website that I will link below because it's fabulous.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah. Okay, well, that's great. Thank you so much for your time as well, Holly.
Thank you for
And maybe talk to you soon. If you want a positive boost, you know where I am.
Have a beautiful weekend.
All right, you too. Take care. Bye.